Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flight in the Airbus A320neo once again, and back in Europe, so flying Lufthansa from here in Berlin Tegel to Vienna today. Flight time is about 1 hour to an hour and a half, so again, not too long in the air today, and should be quite a relaxed flight. We have got full ATC, so we are using iVal today, which includes the, includes the full tower today, so full voice comms. And while we're here, we'll also get a chance to look around Berlin Tegel Airport. So we're using the Gaia Simulations add-on, which came out just last week. And we're also using Gaia Simulations also at our rival airport in Vienna. So we get full scenery today, and it should look really, really good, this. So you can see we've got Turkish Airlines sitting in stand right now. We've also got a few EasyJets over in distance. 2 Neos there, and that looks like a CEO. So we are running iVal today, and so good chance they're going to be real people right now. And yeah, it all should look rather good today. So let's jump in the cockpit and let's start preparing our flight for departure. Batteries come on. Turn on the external power. Turn strobes to automatic. Nav lights on. IRS to nav. Set the heaters to center. Fuel pump's not yet, so just need to fuel the airplane up. Emergency light sets on. Crew supply active. We'll turn up the brightness of these panels just so that they don't decide to fade on me again. That's fine, that's loudspeaker, we can't change that one. Same as the eCams, those come up. And finally, the autopilots. Flight director sets. Actually not yet, we don't need that. Down to the MCDU, and let's program our flight. So departing today from Echo Delta Delta Tango. And arriving at Lima Oscar Whiskey Whiskey. That's fine. Flight number today is LH, is it? Lufthansa Hotel, yes. Lufthansa Hotel 6424. And our cost index shall be 50. Cruising altitude is flight level 290, so quite a low cruise today, according to SimBrief. And therefore we shall enjoy that. If we need to step up, we can always step up later, but we should be alright for now at 290. Relatively low to the Alps, means we get to enjoy a bit more of a view, I guess. Right, we'll use the menu to fuel up since we don't have any fuel trucks here at the moment. And so we will fuel up to £14,762. That will do. Right, zero fuel weight is 50.2, centre gravity is 21.3, block fuel on board is 6.7. At this stage, we will now start the passenger loading process. So, pop open packs, start a flight, that will fill in, that looks fine. So 1 hour 5 on the flight time, time to take off will be about 20.06, we'll say 23 minutes. Flying an A320neo with 147 passengers on board. We do not have Wi-Fi, I don't think. No, we don't. So no Wi-Fi. We haven't got entertainment. We have got boarding music. We've got safety briefing. We do get a snack service. I don't think... I think we do get a meal service, actually. I think we do get a meal service. It's not a very major one, but... passengers do get provided something. Right, back to the flight plan. To the airways page, let's plug in that now. So first waypoint shall be Brain. From Brain we fly to Olbeck. Following Gosek. And then it's Budex. And with that, our flight plan's complete. Insert that. We have got active tower right now, so we shall be contacting them for our departure instead of using the, plugging ourselves if we really wanted to, but we'll get full information from tower today. So, let's tune our frequency. In fact, before I do that, let's turn on the fuel pumps, since we now have fuel on board. Right, let's contact tower. So I need to tune to frequency let's just go to our first well. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome with flights 6424 from Berlin to Vienna. Flight time today is 1 hour and 5 minutes, and we're just in the final stages of preparing the aircraft for push and start. Any questions to the cabin crew today? Otherwise, I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy your flights. I'll do generic public address. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome with flights 6424 from Berlin to Vienna. Flight time today is 1 hour and 5 minutes, and we're just in the final stages of preparing the aircraft for push and start. Any questions to the cabin crew today? Otherwise, I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy your flights. So we need to tune to 124525 as we have a tower. No grounds, no clearance or delivery. Sorry, it's 124525. There we go. And since, well, we have got background music, more sense just do it from outside. Good evening there, Berlin Tower. This is Lufthansa 6424 requesting IFR copy to Vienna.
Lufthansa 6424, startup approved, clear to Vienna via the Berlin Tegel departure out of runway 08 right. Initial climb 5,000 feet, squawk 2772.
Hang on, I missed that departure there, but it's runway 08 right via the Bran to Tango to Victor, did he say? I believe it was to Tango. Cleared to Vienna, departing runway 08 right via the Bran to Tango departure. Initial climb 5,000, squawking 2772 for Lufthansa 6424, and push and start was also approved.
The departure is Berlin Tegel Victor.
3 Victor. Sorry, 3 Victor departure, sorry, for Lufthansa 26424. Sorry, you are right, it was a 3 Victor. So set that, from 08 right.
6424, reset correct.
And we were cleared for push and start, so as soon as we're ready, leave the gates when we're done. No, that's, insert that. That's all fine. See, you guys have better ears than I have. Right, FMS setup, go to performance. Wow, it's a 1-1-3 rotate. That never happens. Must be going very light today. 1 flap, selected is 69. Transition altitude is 8,000.
I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your
RS lines in another 3 minutes. Passengers are still boarding. So far, so good. Let's use this opportunity now to look around the scenery and see what Berlin Tegel has on offer. So, like I said, this is the Vienna simulation scenery. It came out last week. And, sorry, the Gaia simulations scenery. So, same developers as Vienna. And, well, let me tell you, their work really is fantastic. And this is just another standout scenery. It looks great. The level of detail throughout is fantastic. I mean, Gaia simulations do a fantastic job. I do plan to do a full review on this scenery, and that'll be done with flightsim.com. And therefore, a little, I guess, sneak preview of what is to come. I've not actually flown to Tegel myself. I've flown into Schönenfeld a couple of times. And, well, by the way things are going, Tegel may not be around for too much longer, or at the very least, will be relegated to a secondary airport, as Berlin Brandenburg is set to open later this year after a, what, decade-long delay now. So, yeah, an interesting airport this Tegel. Perhaps one day I will fly through it in real life, but the scenery itself does look fantastic. We even got this little here, so instead of using jet bridge, you can just walk up the steps and head the terminal through that. You know, the kind of stand right now would be using. But no, genuinely, it's a fantastic looking scenery, and just the level of detail right up to the, even the advertisement with 6, just, it's all there. Got 2E Fly 737, so that would be a person on IVAO. So IVAO, as well as the online network, has proper model matching, and therefore, that's a 737 MAX. Well, actually, a MAX, or is it? Nah, it's just a 737 with sharklets. The old engines there, CFM 52s.
Requesting taxi.
So, yeah, another benefit of IVAO, it does have the proper model matching as well.
Mirabel 01, taxi to holding point runway 08 right via Sierra Mike and Romeo Whiskey.
Taxi to holding point runway 08 right via Sierra Mike Romeo Whiskey, Mirabel 01.
So we've got another minute till the IRS aligns. The glitch there. There we go. So you've got another minute till the IRS aligns. Once that's done, we'll start up the APU. And, well, within 16 minutes, we should then be airborne. Hang on, squawking. I missed that. Whoops. QNH. 10. That gives you the meta information. There we go. 0992. And squawking 2772. So that's automatic. Set that to Tara. Set that to on. Turn that automatic. That should be everything now ready to go. The IRS is aligned, so that's how the departure now visible on screen there for you. We'll check a quick look at the flight plan as well, make sure I'm happy with everything in action. Which I am. Right. Flight director active. APU starts.
We're ready to go when you are.
Cabin is cabin's boarded. Very nice. Thank you very much, cabin crew. As the 73 taxied off. Yes, he is. He's now leaving away, and therefore we'll be seeing him on the runway, probably while we're pushing back. AP starting up, looking good.
Mirabel 01, when ready for departure, wind is 150 degrees 05 knots, runway 08 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 08 right, cleared for takeoff, Mirabel 01.
Yes, we are using IVAO today. Right, so at this point we're now waiting for the APU to start. There's nothing else I can think of at this time that I may have forgotten, so as far as I'm aware, now pretty much ready to go, just waiting for the aircraft to come to life. And like I say, push and start has been approved, and therefore as soon as we're ready to go, we can just leave the gates. Cabin is secure, passengers have also boarded. There's one more thing I've forgotten, and that is the seatbelt sign. There we go, seatbelts on, that's automatic. Right, now, cabin is secure. 747's just been given its takeoff clearance, so he'll be on his way out. Nope, I am not a real pilot. There are no 737s in the base game. The 737 there is a mod from IVAO, so that's the ATC I'm using. And the 737 is just live traffic from that add-on. But by default, there is no 737s. Not by user, not by AI. The custom camera's video explains everything. If you didn't do it right, then it probably hasn't worked, but the video explains everything in detail. There's really nothing more I can explain than what I've already said in that. Right, so we're on the APU power now. External power comes off. Whoops, I'm going to bleed first. Which I haven't lost anything, which I won't have done. Battery in the A320 is 1 amp to keep it going. Right, okay. We'll turn on the beacon lights now to let ground crews get ready for engine starts. And let us now call the pushback tug over. Welcome, Trader Kate. How are you doing? Welcome, Carol.
Gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 6424 with service to Vienna.
Yeah, initial climb 5,000.
1 hour and 5
3,500. Actually, 2,500 feet per minute. So you've got actual time to climb to that. Speeds to 250 knots.
Please Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for departure.
The music is Lufthansa's boarding music. And so it's what they play in all Lufthansa flights, and everyone's boarding the aircrafts. Right, set to ignition, engine 1 starts. 737, we missed takeoff for the 73. That's a shame. Oh well, you get some, you lose some.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety.
So we're going to push back facing. No, it goes left, we go right.
Herzlich willkommen.
Bienvenidos.
Ni hao. Namaskar. Benvenuti. Yokoso.
أهلا ومرحبا بكم.
Bienvenue.
Bit loud that.
Meine
Whoops.
Damen und Herren, im Namen Ihrer heutigen Lufthansa-Crew möchten wir Sie bitten, sich mit den Sicherheitsvorkehrungen an Bord dieser Maschine vertraut zu machen.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of your Lufthansa crew on duty today, we would like to show you the safety features on board. We would appreciate your attention.
Bitte schenken Sie uns jetzt Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.
Yes, I'm from the UK.
Vielen Dank. Wenn Sie etwas in die Fächer über den Sitzen verstauen, achten Sie darauf.
There's the barking dog. So engine number 2.
Vergewissern Sie sich, dass schweres Handgepäck sicher unter dem Vordersitz verstaut ist.
Barking make release. End of pushback.
Sie jetzt Ihren Sicherheitsgurt zu
That's
schließen
down
und
to
festzuziehen.
1.
Um sich wieder loszuschnallen, brauchen Sie den Verschluss des Gurtes nur anzuheben.
We're as in UK from London. I'm from London. Right, flight control. Let's check the systems. So elevators are active. Ailerons responsive. Rudder active. Cool. Flight control set. Engine starting up. Flaps down 1. Just a moment, we'll make our way down to the runway.
Über die Sie das Flugzeug im Notfall verlassen können. Sollte der Druck in der Kabine sinken, fallen automatisch Sauerstoffmasken aus der Kabinendecke. Ziehen Sie die Maske ganz zu sich herunter, um den Sauerstofffluss zu starten.
My opinion, best free wear add-ons. Probably the A320neo, probably the Liveries Mega Pack. Those two certainly add a lot to the simulator as a whole.
Armlehne. In der Business Class ist sie ebenfalls unter der Armlehne verstaut.
Right.
In der Economy Class befindet sich Ihre
Let's request taxi instructions. Hang on, not yet.
Befestigen Sie die
APU
Gurte
off.
vorn.
There we go.
Ziehen Sie dann die Gurte.
Lufthansa 6424 requesting taxi instructions. Hang on. I should mention on the route frequency. Lufthansa 6424 requesting taxi instructions.
Lufthansa 6424, taxi to holding point runway 08 right via Papa Whiskey, Sierra Mike and Romeo Whiskey.
Taxi to 08 right via Papa Whiskey, Sierra Mike and Romeo Whiskey for Lufthansa 6424.
Ort verboten. Schalten Sie jetzt
Right,
bitte
parking brake
alle
released.
elektronischen Geräte aus.
Taxi lights
Ziehen Sie erst
on,
wieder in Betrieb,
increase
wenn die
throttle, and
Anschnallzeichen
let's go to the runway.
ausgeschaltet worden sind. Welche Geräte Sie dann benutzen dürfen, entnehmen Sie bitte den Informationen im Lufthansa-Magazin. Lesen Sie bitte zusätzlich die allgemeinen Hinweise auf der Sicherheitsinstruktion, die Sie im Bereich Ihres Sitzes finden. Für weitere Informationen steht Ihnen ebenfalls das Lufthansa-Magazin zur Verfügung. Auch Ihr Flugbegleiter gibt Ihnen gerne Auskunft. Wir sind jetzt startbereit. Verstauen Sie bitte die Tische und die Monitore sicher in der vorgesehenen Halterung.
So yeah, should be a good flight this evening. Like I said, I've done a couple of A320 flights before, and a couple for ATC as well. So Berlin all active. Vienna should be active as well, hopefully.
Heavier items of hand baggage should be placed under the seat in front of you. fasten your seatbelt and check that your belt is tight. To unfasten your seatbelt, simply pull up the flap. As turbulence can occur unexpectedly at any time, you're required to fasten your seatbelts as soon as you've taken your seat. This is in the interests of your own safety. This aircraft has 12 emergency exits.
And taxiing just to the right.
Illuminated strips of
Hob shots. Make our way out.
exit. These
Right,
exits are
so
equipped with
brake
evacuation
sets to
slides which you
max.
can use to leave the
Spoilers
aircraft in an
armed.
emergency.
Cabin
In the
check.
unlikely event of a loss in cabin pressure,
And
oxygen masks
takeoff
will
config
automatically
set.
drop from the panel above you.
Pre-takeoff
Pull
checklist
your
complete.
arms down fully to start the flow of oxygen. Cover your mouth and nose with the mask and secure it by pulling the elastic strap over your head. Then help any children and fellow passengers who require
It's a
assistance.
very good scenery this, I must say.
There is a life vest
Guys
in
Animation's done a
every seat.
fantastic job of
In
creating
first
Tegel here.
class, you will find your life vest under the armrest. In business class, it is also stored under the armrest.
PAX. PAX is doing the passenger control and
In
safety
economy class,
debriefings.
your life vest is located under
Also
the
the
seat.
menu at the bottom, that's
If
also
instructed
PAX.
to do so by the crew, pull your life vest over your head. Close the vest at the front and pull the straps tight. Only inflate the vest just before leaving the aircraft by pulling the red tabs.
Nope,
If
same computer
necessary,
still.
you can top
Still
up
waiting
the air
for all
through
the
red tubes.
parts to arrive.
Each vest has a lamp which lights up in the water when you pull out this tab. This flight is a no-smoking flight. Smoking is strictly prohibited at all times while on board this aircraft.
Lufthansa 6424, when ready for departure, wind is 150 degrees 05 knots, runway 08 right, clear for takeoff.
Use of transmission
Clear for takeoff, Lufthansa 6424.
is forbidden for the entire time you're on board.
Cabin crew, seats for
Please
departure.
switch off all electronic devices now. You may switch it on again only when the fasten seatbelt signs have been turned off. For information on which electronic devices
Alright,
are
so
allowed,
looks like we're going to have
please
the
check the
safety
Lufthansa
briefing drag out a
magazine.
bit.
In addition, we ask that you please read the safety instructions, which you will find at your seat. For further information,
Come
please
on, safety
consult
briefing.
the
Without you
Lufthansa
finishing, we
magazine.
can't go.
Your cabin attendants will also be happy to assist you. We're now ready for takeoff.
Here we go.
Please ensure that your table and the monitor is stowed and secured correctly. And make sure that your seat back is in an
Cross up
upright position.
50%. 1 and 2 are stable. Up to flex.
Cabin crew, seats for departure.
$80 knots. Check. V1 rotates. Positive rates, gear up. And there we go. Now leaving behind Berlin Tegel. Bit of a crosswind, but nothing major. Flaps up 1, throttle back to climb. And we shall set the autopilot, or let the aircraft do the initial turn. So initial climb 3000. It'll pitch down to go speed up to 250 knots, which is fine. Spoilers, we shall reset. We'll turn off the ignition as well, that'd probably be important. And yeah, at that point the aircraft's now in full control. We'll quickly turn up the audio again, because for some reason safety briefing for Lufthansa is way too loud. Remind me at the end of the stream to reset that. Or at least to minimise that. Also, I'll turn on the anti-icing just because I don't trust the clouds right now. So, autopilot control now.
This is Lufthansa 6424, contact name radar on 123.225. Have a nice flight, bye.
123.225 Lufthansa 6424. Thank you very much. Anyway, 123225. So we'll tune there now. Check if we change frequency, which we have done, and speak. Hello, Lead Centre. This is Lufthansa 6424 passing through 4500 for 5000.
The 6424 Bremen Radar, hello, identified. Climb flight level 280.
Up to 280 for Lufthansa 6424. So, the tails climb up to 280 now, which is just below our cruising at 29. Also, perhaps change my climbing in thousands rather than hundreds. That will make my life so much easier when it's at Drawyah. So 28s, continue again in, well now in 3,500s. And 250 knots we shall continue to do. Settings are virtually the same. Nothing's really been moved because, as it stands, this all works absolutely fine for me. So at this point, we're now doing a left-hand turn, and should be able to. Well, we're going to fly over the airport again. That's what the flight plan shows. We're going to overfly the airfield once more. Really brave to attempt live flights with current stability to SEM. How can you be sure it won't crash? I mean, that's the thing. I've been streaming on an almost daily basis now for 2 months. Only on like 2 or 3 occasions has a sim ever crashed on me. And there are minor things that are my own faults that I could easily resolve within the hour. So, I've just been really fortunate with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I have been very fortunate when it comes to any forms of crashing, instability and nonsense like that.
We are now passing through 10,000 feet. You can now turn on your
Set
larger
the
portable
standard
electronic
altimeter.
devices.
Landing
As a
lights come
reminder, please
off.
keep your seatbelt fastened while you are seated and do not congregate in the galley or near the lavatory.
And we'll continue to climb a little bit more. We're pretty much on the flight plan anyway, so we'll let the aircraft return to that fully before we turn off the seatbelt sign. Looks like a little bit of a stormy route ahead of us, but ultimately we should be alright. We have got live weather, yes we do. IVA I'm using. And I will say, IVA has done a much finer job than any other networks has of integrating Microsoft Flight Simulator. They're the first to do it, and you have got the full model matching as well, which came pretty much on day one. And so, they may not be partnered with Microsoft per se, but they've done a better job in terms of actually getting the sim ready. And I'd highly recommend it. If you're looking for an online network, IVAL is certainly a good place to go. Yeah, we'll go off seatbelt signs now, so seatbelt signs off, and tell them to do the same here. Any second now, there we go.
Off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move about the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in case of unexpected turbulence.
Okay, one person straight for the toilets, everybody else nice and seated. So let's have a quick scroll through the passenger names, see if anybody we can recognise. There won't be any Jared, I don't think. Jared is not aboard this aeroplane, he's still stuck in the 747 toilets. And how about Noah Phillips, is he on board as well? We've got Noah Williams, but there's a relatively standard passengers today. Nope, nobody I can recognise. Fair enough. Rest in peace, our boy Jared. So that's PAX, TFDI designed PAX. Can I get a gear cam view? Sure. Let's just use drone cam. Drone cam's easier. Whoops. Let me reset the speed of drone cam. That's crazy. Ludicrous speed, as we call it in the trade. Yeah, the Karen on board, be careful. Of course, we're always careful on this airline. Right, let's bring it down to 2,000. Sorry, we go to 2,000 feet per minute climb now, since we're a little bit losing speed. And we're aiming for a Mach 0.6 at this stage. Glad you chose to hear about custom views. I mean, I know a lot of people have been asking me about it, and so to be fair, the custom views like this was pretty much the last channel secret I had. But it's all out there now, all for you guys to enjoy yourselves, tweak, mess around with, do whatever you want. But like I say, if it's to be known, if people want to know how to do it, then I'm always happy to share the basics. So yeah, that's pretty much that. There is Benjamin, you take care. Nav lights are turned on. Ah, did I not turn them on at the start? I must have accidentally moved that switch. You're alright, they should be turned on. I must have accidentally knocked it. Thanks for that. Well, this seems unrealistic. No, this is perfectly accurate for what it's like in Europe right now. Over here in Germany. In fact, that looks... Just set off the overlay. You guys enjoy the full screen for once. In fact, let me just grab a screenshot of that, because it really does look beautiful. I do like Microsoft Flight Simulator. In terms of how it shows off weather and all that, it really is seconds to none. The problem with flying at night is that everybody complains it's too dark, and so that's why I stopped flying at night. Out of all the videos I've done, the ones with the most dislikes are those I've flown at night, because everyone complains it's too dark. And therefore, at this point, I've kind of given up on that, and we'll do what the majority rules is. If you guys want daytime flights, the majority want daytime flights. Got some good screenshots in this one. Might even change the thumbnail, because the thumbnail is a bit
So 6,
iffy.
424, monitor Unique Command 1 to 2, simulate, ciao.
1 to 2 destinate to Lufthansa 6424. Thank you very much. So we can send to Unicom now, so we know more ATC for this stage. I'll have a look at Vienna, see if anybody tunes in. So minimise that. Let's have a look at Whereby. A-Trains also doesn't work for you. I'm not sure. A lot of people say it works, a lot of people say it doesn't work. In my case, it works absolutely fine. But I've seen, like I say, a lot of people have said that it is completely broken, and, well, hopefully we'll get a few fixes at some point. I'm sure there's a lot that even I'm waiting for improvements, like VNAV simulation. As soon as it's there, I'm sure it'll be rather grand. For some reason my microphone was muted, and I've been talking to myself for the last half an hour. How long was I quiet for? How long was I quiet for? Did you hear the communications with ATC? How much was silence? Because now I'm a bit concerned if I missed half the stream. And I was talking at the start, but maybe I pressed hotkey or something, which muted OBS there by accident. Okay, 136225. Okay, talk about the clouds, but like I say, pot of luck. Sometimes clouds appear fluffier than others. Sometimes too many clouds can be a bit flickery. Otherwise, from left and right, they look absolutely fine. And yeah, it's just sometimes different views and different lighting looks a bit better than others. Right, let me contact the tower now, because I'm now... there's only a minute to... Okay, so it could be worse. It could be worse. I'm glad you guys spotted that. 136225. Munich Centre. Hello there, Munich Centre. This is Lufthansa 6424 at flight level 280. Hello there, Munich Centre. This is Lufthansa 6424 at flight level 280.
Lufthansa 6424 München, radar contact, hello.
Cool.
Lufthansa 800, contact München 123.905, goodbye.
Someone's blocking that.
Lufthansa 800, contact München on 123.905, bye.
Sundair 3012 München, radar contact, hello, descent level 130 to reach Napsa at level. Descent flight level 130, Sundair 3012.
Not using VATSIM, we're using IVAO.
Speed 270 knots. Radio speed 270 knots, Sundair 3012.
Очень рейдер, спешно фиксируйся, регутная автобач. Climb fix, hold fix.
Siberian Airlines 5620 München, radar contact. Climb flight level 190.
190, yes, fix 0.
To be fair, if all goes to plan, by the end of this year certainly, I'll have both a Warthog and a 3080. I've got the Warthog now, I've been using it for about 6 months. Best stick ever, it really is fantastic. If you can pick one up, it's well worth it. And yeah, I've also got the 3080 on order. I'm about 650 in the queue of getting one, so it could be a while. But if all goes to plan, I'll have one before the end of the year. I've already done a video on my camera settings. I literally did it this morning.
Sundair 3012, contact München 123.905, goodbye. Contact München, radar 123.905 for Sundair 3012,
I'm actually have to climb to 29,000 for a short bit. We'll go down straight away, but because the flight phase is still in climb, the sim detects I've reached cruising yet, and therefore the passengers won't get their service, so hopefully ATC won't notice my little excursion. I'm literally waiting for the climb phase to turn to cruise, and then we'll go back down again to 28.
Siberian 5620 Unicom 228, goodbye.
Unicom 5620, bye-bye.
It's a bit naughty to do this fact of ATC, but at the same time, passengers are also important. There, go out cruise now, so go back down to 28. Naughty there from Drawyah. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Yes, we are using PAX right now. It works absolutely spot on with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Works just fine. Hopefully when I get meal service... Well, yeah, it was meal service. Hopefully get meal service in very shortly. Otherwise, not too far from the centre at this stage. We are still on Munich control. Vienna is... Yeah, so Vienna's offline right now, if I just stick on that. Which one's us? We are... Not you. Not you. Can't be too far from Munich, can we? There we go, that's us. So Vienna's offline right now.
Right there, 3270, Unicorn 12.8. Dankeschön, schönen Abend.
Please look in your seat back for a list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, we only accept credit cards.
Yeah, we'll be alright. Once we finish with Munich, we may switch to Unicom and then set our approach up. There's another 200 miles to go. Mods. So I'm using the A320neo with the liveries mega pack. I'm using iVal for ATC. I'm using TFDI design packs.
6424 Unicom 22, goodbye.
122 decimal for Lufthansa 6424. Thank you very much. So, yeah, sorry, using iVal for ATC. We're using TFDI design packs for the passenger and crew. And I think that's about it, really. Nothing on top of my head. I mean, okay. I'm using FSUI PC7 for the mod side loading. But that's about it, really. I can't think of anything else. VRAM would certainly help with the cloud pixelation, as well as ground textures, yes. But for the most part, the pixelation comes out of shaders. So over here the sunlight's a bit more direct, and therefore it's not nearly as pixely. It tends to look towards the sun, not nearly as bad. Because the sun is looking side on right now, the shaders don't know, is it supposed to be a dark cloud, it's supposed to be a light cloud, so it kind of gives you a pixely effect, because as the cloud shape determines the shadow, and these are not solid objects, these are, what's the word? These are volumetric. It doesn't quite know how to react to the light, and so it's just basic computing that's causing the speckled effects of that. Oh, there's a benefit to that, Venaro. Be single, and then you can stream you can fly as much as you want, and nobody has a care in the world. Let's program our approach, then, shall we? So it's going to be runway 16 in Vienna, as it stands. Use the ILS for that. And this will be via the Bude 1 Whiskey. Okay, there's no Bude 1 Whiskey, so we'll just say that's no star, I guess. Inserts you. It should still pretty much follow, yeah, still follow the flight plan in, that's no problem. We'll just, we'll do it with the aircraft once. A bit turbulent, nothing too major. Oh, thank you very much, Benjamin. Glad you're enjoying the watch. Yes, we are using the A320neo mods. We are using the A321X by fly-by-wire. Very good, highly recommended. Microsoft Flight Simulator should be available for the Xbox One X. At least I believe the plan was initially to have it on current gen consoles before putting on to the next gen, but plans always change. You never know what Microsoft may do now, but I believe initially it was the case of One X and all that, but we'll see. We'll see what the future brings. At least you'll see, because I'm still on PC, and I've got no plans to use console versions myself. Oh yeah, compared to the original 320, this is so much better. More of the cockpit, systems-wise, more functional, and it's just much nicer to fly than the default, so yes. Big difference, highly recommended, fantastic. So the pixel, like I said, pixelation is not down to VRAM, but it's an issue with shaders and how shaders work on games and computers. So because these are volumetric, transparent clouds, the sim doesn't quite know how to render the lighting on them, and therefore at certain angles, certain lighting scenarios, the clouds appear pixelated. Nothing to do with VRAM, it's all to do with how lighting works in any game ever. No worries, Warhawk. You take care of yourself, have a good one. Are you overclocking Wadua? Because the biggest thing with crashing right now is people who are overclocking their PCs, and the way to fix that if you're overclocking is to reduce your memory clock usage. Bring back the memory clock and it should stop crashing. That's the big thing that people are doing right now. Concorde will come to Microsoft Flight Sim, yes. DC Design's currently doing one alongside Just Flights, and we should see it before the end of the year, if all goes to plan. We've got a little bit of minor turbulence right now. You can see the wing flex coming to play there. In fact, you can even see the aircraft, keeping the aircraft stable there. The ailerons just flicking about a bit there, nice and stable. Seatbelt signs are turned off right now. Seatbelt signs are off on the overhead, so on, off. And they're also switched off on PAX. Passengers are moving around the cabin. Oh, they're allowed to move around, but as it stands, they're all just seated again. Seatbelts off, seatbelts off. Some keeping it on, but so it's a mix. It's a mix. Yeah, like I said, the biggest issue with crashing right now is because as Microsoft Flight Sim updates, adds more stuff to the sim, and therefore if you're overloading your memory, overloading your CPU, it will just inevitably run out of memory and crash. Ooh, a bit of a change there in the weather and speed. In fact, I'll turn the seatbelt sign on now, just because it's getting a little bit bumpy.
Return to your seat as the seatbelt sign is now on.
A game should never just crash. I mean, load any game with crazy high overclock settings, it will just crash. It's not Microsoft Flight Sim that's at fault here, but those who overclock and haven't benchmarked properly to the point where it will cause these crashes. So even I was a victim of this myself. I had my memory clock too high, eventually the sim just overloaded, crashed, and when I reduced my overclocking, my memory clock, things started running absolutely fine. So it is possible. That's why I always say benchmark, adjust. Well, it's like everyone says, benchmark, adjust, tweak, and eventually you'll get it right. see, I'm looking at chat now. The moment people realise overclocking is a big problem, where they're putting too much into the sim, all of a sudden, it's, oh look, it's because I'm overclocking and putting too much into it. It's the thing about overclocking, you never really think about it until someone has to mention it. Yes, good old trial and error. It's a little bit shaky, so we won't turn seatbelt sign on, turn seatbelt sign off just yet. But so it's getting smoother now. Yeah, I think that's pretty much fine now, so seatbelts off. Seatbelts off. Yep, just one flight tonight. Oh my word, it's Jared. Yeah, just the one flight tonight, Jared. After this, if all goes to plan, I plan to do a few more tutorials to record and have them up for tomorrow. So I want to do a showcase of the 747 by Soul Simulations. I also want to do the Flights 9 787XC. So if I can try and do a video on those two tonight, scheduled for tomorrow morning, that's pretty much all of the major tutorial videos I want to get done out, and then going forward I can start focusing more on the relaxed stuff that perhaps I get asked as much but still very much want to do. For example, the set citations I want to do tutorials on, how to set up, fly and land those. So they'll come eventually, but well, you saw how my A320neo X video did and how much it boosted people using the add-on as well. Before then, nobody heard of it. I do a video on it, all of a sudden it's like 10,000 people joined the server, and another 20,000 are using it within their own sim, so something like that for the 7874, I definitely want to do as well. I mean, more people I can help into flight simulation, I mean, it's a mutual benefit. I help you guys get a better simulator, and in return, I get a few more views, a few more likes, and more people watching the live streams and all that. So it's a mutual two-way thing. And yeah, I just enjoy this. I enjoy flying around. I enjoy talking to you guys, creating a bit of a two-way chat. And yeah, just overall, I like it. I like it. So the 787's still got its issues like all the other jets in the sim, but there isn't... Hang on, I'm watching Taverns now. There is an add-on out there which does improve it, and it's like I say, if all goes to plan, I'll do a video on that tonight and then publish it for tomorrow. And I'll do one more stream on Sunday, and then yeah, that'll be my weekend coming to an end. Interesting angle of attack, that. Almost on a downward angle. Perhaps we are on a downward angle, fair enough. Yeah, no worries, Smuggle. I'm glad you've learned a lot from these. Speaking of doing stuff, I want to do something as well. Where is it? It's going to be under... the Sea Games community, jump down to A320, look for Lufthansa, actually no need for Lufthansa, I'll head into the config, config, oops, I should try and remove the tailcode from this because there's a small issue with it as well, which is just annoying me now. There, get rid of you. Right, that's the last time I have to see that. Not too far from the descent at this point. Still got a bit of cruise left to go, but not terribly long till we descend. What do you mean by too legit, Harry? I mean, iVal's not too difficult to get your hands on. It's not too difficult to learn either. It takes a bit of practice, but once you've done it, you've done it. Man, there's definitely a strong bit of fluttering going on right now. This aircraft is, if this was a training flight, this would be a failure, that's for sure. Plane should not be fluttering this much. Flutter, so it's like the small left and right shake, and just the overall shake of any aircraft structure. The 747 had it bad, especially in the first couple of training flights. And to this day, Boeing still puts concrete blocks in the wings of their 747 to keep them more stable. But, yeah, it's definitely a bit shaky, this. No, Raphael, you take care. I'll see you again soon. Expected arrivals in 30 minutes, so you can use that to kind of guesstimate how long we are to landing. Graphics settings, I've done a whole video on my graphics settings, so well worth going to look for that. No, Twitch chat's a little bit quiet. How many people are even watching on Twitch right now? Let's have a look. We have 251 on YouTube and 9 on Twitch, so... I stream on Twitch mainly because people ask me to stream on Twitch. YouTube's my main platform, and so it'll stay that way. Twitch is kind of the extra bonus that people are requesting, and so ultimately I decided to do it, just so that more people can enjoy what I do on a platform they prefer. So while the links down there are a little bit out of date, and so at some point during the week I really should just sit down and update my Twitch page a little bit. So I got the what's it called? The trailer and all that updated, but the buttons down below definitely in need of a change. Plane I'm waiting for mostly the 737, whether it's the 732 from Milviz, 734 from the unknown developer, or 738 from PMDG. The 737 is definitely the aircraft I'm waiting the most for right now. Had you top of the descent, we're about 60 miles from the airport we'll descend, or 60 to 80 miles. Although I didn't take into account that we are flying past the airport and back around again. That's a length of like 40, 80, 120, yeah. So we've got a fair bit of flying left to go. We need to descend. Would you fly a 737 MAX in real life? Yes, I would. I'd even fly the 737 MAX before the MCAS changes happened. Basically, so the issue with MCAS was that on aircraft that only had one angle of attack sensor, sometimes it would stick, and as a result, the trim didn't know which way the aircraft was facing. It would start trimming up, down, and that's what led to the MCAS issue. Under EU regulations, under the EASA, the European Authority Aviation Safety, stuff like that. European Aviation Safety Authority, there you go. They requires all 737 MAXs, when ordered for European flights, to have 2 angle of attack sensors attached. So the second angle of attack sensor was an optional extra that Boeing had, which, it was an optional extra, so not everyone bought it, but within EU airspace, it was a requirement, and therefore all airlines, or at least all European 737 MAXs, had 2 angle of attack sensors. And that is enough to fix the original MCAS counteracting, because they realised that both are not aligned with one another, and therefore it puts a warning message saying your angle of attack sensors are bust. So, yes, ultimately, I mean, it's still a problem. It can still happen, but it's not nearly as bad as the 737s that only had a single angle of attack indicator, as the two that crashed did. Thank you, Ahmed, for the £5 there, friend from Dubai. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Well, thanks to Diego, I will never fly Mexico. Thank you very much. VNAV does not work well. It holds to constraints, but it won't do stuff like descents. How can you do terrain? Terrain's easy, so if I turn off the weather radar 2 seconds, let's do that. Terrain, you just set the terrain button here. So terrain on ND, that's what makes the terrain appear. Right now at 30,000 feet, there is no terrain for us to avoid. But once we're lower down, if someone tells me to turn that on, we can turn it on. But that there's the terrain button, just next to the ND. I wouldn't even say airline skimping with money, because at the end of the day, the second angle of attack indicator probably should not have been an optional extra. The moment you have optional extras as safety equipment as optional extras, that's, yeah, I say, perhaps not the smartest business decision. But ultimately, EASA regulations saved a lot of European Maxes. They're still going to get the upgrades, they're still going to get the re-electrification of all the wires and the updated firmware, and by standard now, two indicators are standard, so they're no longer an extra, but they're now standard with the 737 MAX, and a few other tweaks here and there as well that makes the aircraft more stable. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the first time this has happened. The DC-10 had issues with its cargo door exploding, and it took 3 crashes for them to resolve that, and the aircraft's now one of the was, by the end of it, one of the safest aircraft in the skies. The 737-200 had issues with, what was it? Sorry, 732 was a fine. The 737-400 had issues with a rudder hardover, and on a couple of occasions the rudder would basically snap into locked position and the aircraft fell out of the sky. 2 crashes and 1 almost crash they recovered, and the 737 now, one of the safest aircraft in the skies. Even the A320 had a struggle at its start. Pilots didn't understand the fly-by-wire system, pilots didn't understand how automated it was, and so it led pilots to kind of ignore the A320 systems. There's a couple of crashes as well. By the time they trained the pilots properly about how to fly the A320, it's now the safest aircraft in the sky. I mean, don't forget, the A320, in its first 10 years of operation, was known as John Wayne of aircrafts. It's... how'd it go again? A320 John Wayne of aircraft. It's chops down trees, kills Indians, and... what's the third one? Let me try and find it. A320 John Wayne... where is it? There's a website out there which explains all the aircraft's nicknames. A320... There we go, so the A320 is known as John Wayne because they chop down trees, move mountains and kill Indians. There we go. So, chop down trees, that's in reference to the Air France crash in the air show. Move mountains, that was the case in America where the aircraft descended below the altitude for the airport to crash into a mountain. Kill Indians. I believe that's in reference to one of the crashes in India, I think. Yeah, you go. Indian Airlines 605 back in 1990. So, yeah, even the A320 had a very difficult start to life, with the aircraft crashing on a couple of occasions. Why has it done that? Flight plan. For some reason, the aircraft decides to not follow our flight plan anymore. Why have you done that to me, Airbus A320? Why are you doing this to me now? I speak good about you, just for you to go and decide you don't want to fly my flight plan anymore. So, -16. No transition. Insert that. No, okay. I mean, it's no big problem, I can still fly, I'll just do manual vectors instead. So go 150, and we'll start our descent now to 5,000 feet. We'll descend at max 65, with rates of 1,800 feet per minute. Anti-icing isn't necessary, but I keep it on just because I don't trust the simulator with anti-icing, basically. I turn it off, I bet you the aircraft starts to freeze over. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened to flight plan there. For some reason it's not following the approach, which is the first time I've had that issue, truth to be told, so I'm just going to vector it instead. When will VNAV work? No idea. How do you decide where to do flights? Depends. It's the length of the routes, whether or not I've got any fancy scenery for the departure and arriving airports, or in some cases, well, in a lot of cases, whatever people request. So it's just a mixture of all three. What do I fancy? Does it look good? Do people want it? Why haven't I got the sound pack? Because, well, when I first used sound pack, I just thought some of the audio needs a bit of adjusting in the sound pack. But if they've done more updates on it, then perhaps we'll give it another go. So PMDG are doing a 737-800 and 900s. They'll also do 6 and 700s later. Milviz are doing a 737-200s, and some other developer, no one knows the name of yet, but one of the developers were formerly that of TFDI Design, they're doing a 737-400. So there are 3 on the way, of all 3 generations. Helsinki to Oulu, that's an interesting one. It's not a very long flight, that. The problem though is that default Helsinki Microsoft Flight Simulator is ugly, so when it comes to somewhere like Helsinki, because I love that airport in real life, I want to do it justice, so yeah, I'll probably wait more until we get like a Mega Airports Helsinki upgrade before I fly to Helsinki. Switch AI just like FSX, yes it is possible. Whoops. Can I show it in the sim now that I've loaded? Probably not. That's okay in that case. Traffic, you can use real time online or AI offline, and then that is similar, or that's just like how it was in FSX, and then turn it off entirely. So real time is internet. AI offline, that is just like what they used in FSX. Alright, 737-800, then no. PMDG are the only developer doing an 800. At least right now, that's what we know. Peripherals, I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog stick and throttle. So have a look at my altitude for touchdown. Well, at least the intercept will be at 5,000. Okay, 5,000 is the final altitude you need to be at for landing. We'll turn on the seatbelt signs now, since we are below 22. Yep, that's going to be the New River. London to Belfast, that's a good suggestion, that. And, well, it gives me the option. I can use any London airports with any wide selection of airlines. And then Belfast, that's Aldergrove, isn't it? Yeah, I could do it at some point. Tablet mod would be interesting, but nowhere near really yet in terms of actual models in the sim yet. When did the decrease our descent rate to 1,500? We probably started a little bit early there, so we'll give it a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, Aldergrove City. Manchester to Dublin. How short do you want these flights to be? That's like a 20-minute flight. I've done that a couple of times in X-Plane. And so, yes. CRJ, that's another one. The CRJ, once that's out, I will absolutely be flying that. I do own it for FSX and P3D. I didn't fly it nearly as much as I wish I did. But yes, the CRJ will absolutely be one coming to your screens when it comes out. PMDG have said they will make a 737, but it's not their current project, so 777 will be a few years off, I can imagine. Long haul, I do long hauls all the time. Usually on Saturday evening, so normally this would be my long haul flight's time. But instead I'm doing a short flight now, tutorials for tomorrow, and then by next week we'll do all the stuff again. Not that I'm aware of. Microsoft Flight Sim, I don't think we'll be using Vulkan. To be fair, I'm not entirely sure what it uses now. Oh boy, see that? Did I turn off the anti-icing? No, I didn't. But icing has formed on the aircrafts. Not severe icing, but certainly some has formed. Could be worse. Could be worse. DirectX 11. There you go. Welcome from Canada, James. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chats. Of course, right on descent here. Yeah, so we're gonna overfly the airport. In fact, do we need to go that way? Could we possibly turn left? And yeah, we'll follow the route around. We'll take the route around. That's what the FMS is saying. We'll go follow it. So the airport we should be able to spot to our left, not too far from here. There's the river, so that there will be Vienna-ish. We'll keep an eye out for it. Getting a little bit bumpy now. I have heard of importing Google Photogrammetry into the sim. I've not tried it myself, nor do I plan to at any point. Glad to hear it, Elijah. I'm glad you found the new tutorials helpful. Welcome, Evidence. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chats. Yes, Vienna-ish. Just somewhere over there. Somewhere along that river. Nice and bumpy in today. Nice and bumpy. Let's use that terrain radar like I said I would. There's an airport down there. Not our airport though. Where is it? So turn that off, and we'll turn this on. So in a few seconds, presume there's any high terrain around us, the ND will start to light up. Whoa! Very bumpy in today. I'm telling you now, this is going to be an approach to remember. Helsinki to Tokyo, that's a long one, but one day.
We have begun our final descent into Vienna. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed in future in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat.
Upload sim brief. I don't think so at the moment. I'm alright. We're going to the meta information now, so we'll set the QNH to 0999. We're slowing down to below 250 knots now, and as soon as we hit that, we'll make a push in. That's not Vienna, that's some other airports. Vienna we're landing at is there. That's our Vienna. So we're going to make a left, overfly the airport, make another left, and then loop back and around to land. So there's a few clouds at 200, scattered at 400. Winds are 19 knots at 150. Okay, so it's going to be a very windy landing, that's for sure. You can load flight plans in from SimBrief to Microsoft Flight Simulator, but not in the way of doing company routes. When I do company routes, that's different. But the current way, not for me, not for me. Meta information, I just use, whoops, all Metsats. Nice and easy to understand, you got your full raw text here. Easiest way to get meta information. Drawyah approach, could be interesting. Should do some flights in Tokyo. I've done Tokyo all week. Yeah, so far so good. About to pass through 10,000, so we're shutting off the landing lights. Sorry, turning on the landing lights shortly. Still descending. London to Lisbon, another good route. What was it? Boston to New York, so I'll mention. That's a very busy route. Maybe not tomorrow. The flights I want to do tomorrow, that's the one I've got in my mind, is Denver to LaGuardia, or LaGuardia to Denver. I'm not sure which way around I'll do it, but that's the route I've got in my head right now, which I'd like to do potentially tomorrow. Let's landing lights active. Greece. It's been a while since I last flew in Greece, so another option I could do. Heavy thunderstorm near Ljubljana. Well, fortunately we're nowhere near Ljubljana, so we should be alright. Although the storm, I can imagine, is what that cloud over there is really. And so we're pretty much right on the edge of that very storm. An airplane up there as well. Spotted some lights. Oh yeah, there. Yeah, Frankfurt's a massive airport. I have flown into that one before. Start a left-hand turn, 080. Currently on some terrain radar, but obviously no terrain here to pick up, so we'll turn back onto weather radar. Oops, not speed, sorry, speed says 240 still. Almost there. Almost there now. Once you are using our nav, because for some reason it decided to move away from the flight plan, so we're just going to vector it in ourselves, following the flight plan in. Right, spoilers on, brake sets to low. Flaps we won't do just yet, but won't be very long till we start lowering them. Was it hard crate cars used? No, it wasn't. I mean, you watched this tutorial, I presume. It's about 6 minutes. No worries, Ken. Glad you're enjoying the watch. So there's the airport. And then there's the runway we'll be landing on, but from the other side. So in fact I can see some lights in the distance. Just there. That's an aeroplane coming into land now. And we'll be just behind them for touchdown. VNAV follows constraints better than the last version, but I wouldn't say it's worth using VNAV. I'm still quite happy with the standard ATC manual altitude and speed adjustments. JetBlue London to New York. I'd fly it if it was cheap. If I was ever going to New York, I'd take the cheapest option. It used to be fly British Airways to fly 747, but well, in fact I was supposed to fly 747. I was supposed to fly to New York back in May. But because of COVID-19 and civil unrest in America, that trip got cancelled very quickly, and British Airways have since retired the 74. So, unfortunately I've lost out on that. It's now just whatever's cheaper. No tutorials on VATSIM. I don't use VATSIM. Very nice, Lewis. Ah, Fly-by-wire simulations. Hope everything's going well. I'm glad you're here because it's not going well. For some reason, the heading's broken. Fix it. Nah, it's all good. All good fly-by-wire. I'm very much enjoying what you guys have put together. So, almost at the next left turn. So we'll do 2 more vectors. We've got 1 more to head parallel to the runway. And then 1 more left-hand turn to bring it back to land. So, yeah, otherwise so far so good. Listen, man. Alright, so see there's an aircraft on the runway. 1 currently at gates. 1 on the runway should be leaving very soon. And we have a left-hand turn to make. We'll go 270. Is that thunder or is that an aeroplane nearby? All of a sudden I just heard a loud noise. That must have been thunder. Okay. I have done an MCDU tutorial, yes. If you go through my A320 startup tutorial, oh, it was thunder. If you go from my A320 startup tutorial, then I do talk about the autopilot systems in a little bit of detail, so it is there. I do explain the full setup process of the A320. Right, it's down to 220 knots. That's 1. Yeah, it's a bit overly sensitive, the airspeed alarm there. We'll go down to 210. You know, that little bit of turbulence, 1 gust and you're speeding again, so if you give it that breathing room, that should be alright. So let's turn on some backlighting, since it's now getting dark enough in the cockpit to require it, so integrated lights will turn up. Same for the overhead panel, if I can remember where they are. There we go. And that's... will I get the Airbus Thrustmaster set? Probably not. Not because I don't want it, but more because I've got the Thrustmaster Warthog kit, which is already a top-of-the-line spec system that... I don't know, I don't really need to get anything else. There's 1 aircraft now on the ILS and final, so keep an eye out for them. There you are. Roger. We have a visual on final approx 3-4 minutes. So there's an aircraft to our left. We'll now start left-hand turns ourselves. Down to 190. And get ready for the next stage of flaps. Face review, I've already done 1. That's 2. That's, yeah, 164, frequency 116. Set the landing performance quickly, so BBQH 999. Temperature is 17 centigrade. Magnitude and winds 15019. Decision heights 750. Cool. In a second, when I'll be on the glide slope. Down to 180 knots. In a couple of moments, we'll unload to flaps 3. But yeah, it's really looking beautiful, the sunsets. It really is. I would try the localizer, but I don't see the diamonds yet. Normally they should appear. Yeah, let's not. Well, this is not what I wanted to do. Okay, let's pilot off. We'll do this ourselves, I guess. I might start making a left-hand turn, I'm not too sure. That's 3. We'll hold us at 5,000. And then we'll just fly down the glide slope ourselves. Cabin crew, seats for landing.
Cabin crew, seats for landing.
I have. 1-1. Should do that automatically. Okay. Well, we'll do it manually anyway. It's no biggie. It's clear visibility. Right, so the approach speed is 147 knots. I mean, like I say, it's not like I've not done a hand land anyway in the past. I've done these all the time. They're not, I guess, the most ideal, but they get you there. That's 4. 147 knots hold. Keep that on the back end, since I'm fairly sure the runway will get taken over by someone. Vacators, thank you, Austria. That's 6 miles with a load landing gear. Right, here we go. Landing gear down not yet. So I'm going to wait until it gets about there. 6 miles low landing gear. Cabin though, we can check.
Camera crew, please take your seat for landing.
And they can assist if they really want it, but I don't know. It's fine. A little bit gusty. It's a 35 knot headwind right now, so can be very careful of that. Get it down. Turns out. Hello there, Austrian 3 Tango Juliet. How are you doing, sir? welcome to the chat. Right, so that's we're on short final now. About 5-ish miles to go, 7.5 miles to go. And we won't sense too much since we are still slightly below the glide slope there. It's 3 reds, 1 white from what I can see. So we'll keep the aircraft relatively stable at this point. So far so good. Aircraft's acting, well, it's acting rather fine right now, so we'll just guide it in the rest of the way. There we go. Looking good on the pappies now. Let's continue our descents. So, gear down, 3 greens, auto brakes set, spoilers armed, flaps set, landing lights active, we have landing clearance, pre-landing checks complete. So, we've got that guy there, holding position from 1-6. Thank you very much, Harding.
1,000.
1,000. Stable approach. Misapproach altitude set, 5,000. A little bit to the right, so adjust for that. Sing race alarm, we can ignore that. If I could inhibit it, I would do, but well, GPWS inhibitor not yet a feature in Microsoft Flight Sim. There we go, 2 reds, 2 whites, all looking good.
100.
Committed, we are committed.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Reverse thrust sets. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Reverse thrust idle. And exit the runway now to the right. Bad. Slightly strong headwind. Nothing that the aircraft couldn't handle, really.
28 p.m. p.m. and it's currently about 23 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the
Let's clear the runway, so we will raise the flaps.
If this is your final destination,
Sets
we thank you
the
for flying with us.
lights now, so landing lights off.
We encourage you to check
Test
your
lights
itinerary to
set.
ensure a smooth continuation of your journey. We apologize
Turn
for
those
the
off.
delay.
Turn on
Please
the
coordinate with
APU.
airline staff as necessary regarding connecting flights or accommodations.
And then once we station out on the taxiway here, we'll announce that we're clear of the runway. Oh, is that the guy there? Fair enough. Yeah, so runway low, runway 16 vacated. Yeah, it's got that guy there in his little prop craft there. Hope he has a safe flights. So no, the landing rate is provided by FlyLive Studio. It's a third-party add-on that streamers use to showcase the well, streaming stats. So it's not a default feature, it is a mod to show the landing rates. I don't know what Jamie's stream is. Sure, give me 2 seconds and I'll see, now I've advertised myself on live out. Drawyah. So go taxis now to gates. We'll be heading towards the far end of the airport, since that's where the aircrafts, well, this is when the Lufthansa will do all of their gate work, and this is an international flights. Well, actually, that being said, it is part of the Shenzhen, so there's no passport checks. We'll head to the main bit. Hey, Drawyah, nice to see you again. Welcome there. That's Malaysian, is it? Malaysian 262. There he is. Let me have a quick Google while I'm taxiing. Lufthansa Vienna gates. Where did Lufthansa go to? Gate check, there we go. I'm now getting lost. Do any of you guys in chat know where Lufthansa go to? Which gates? I was presumed it would be in the domestic area, or at least the Shenzhen area. We'll go where we go. D gates. There we go. Thank you very much. Now, where are the D gates? He now asks. There we go. Right. So let's use a whoops. Use a terminal map. So D gates, non-Shenzhen. Interesting. Okay, so I do know where we're going then. Sorry for the slight lag there. That's because now Firefox is loading in the background. Hurry up. Yeah, okay. I know exactly where we're going to now. There is no ground control right now. Currently on Unicom 122.8. that aeroplane there now pushing back from gates. And so likely we'll hold position for him. Or could we turn the left here and just go around? I'll tell you what, that's what we'll do. So once we get to the gates, we'll do the usual end of flight reports from PAX. So don't go anywhere just yet, there's still a little bit more to come. Use D gates. Okay, so it is the Delta gates. Thank you very much everyone who gave me that info. See, that's why I love streaming and talking to you guys. Because, I mean, I know so much, but when I'm unfamiliar with certain airports, that's where I do get a few limitations. With you guys in chat, there we go, nice departure there. With you guys in chats, you you give me all the information I don't know. So now the foxtrots. Yeah, pillow in our directions. We're using IVAO right now. IVAO. So these are the deltas now. So just trying to look for a stand with an empty. There you go. So Delta 30, everyone's saying to me to use. Delta 30 is empty. Thank you very much. What's new Unipax updates? Generally a lot more stabilisations in regards to the passenger map. So another thing we'll look at when we're in gates, we'll have the passenger map. There you go. So that guy's just reverse there, the Iberia. Therefore, we shall now be stealing their gates. Yep, a 777. So that's another aircraft from IVAO. So it's a real person in that airplane right now, either in Microsoft Flight Sim, FSX or P3D, or X-Plane. And IVAO does have proper model matching in place, to which you can see what other people are using. So on Emirates stand right now, and we've got the Iberia who's just reversed. Thunder Flash. I've got an LL 737 to our right. And halts, parking brake sets. Oh, now you tell me to use the foxtrots. Too late for that, we're in Delta. Alright, so XM power available. Tax lights off, beacon lights off, engines off, seatbelt sign off. Ah, oh, we never get that. Well, there you go. We haven't seen it in a long time, the actual in the flight report thing. Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vienna. Local time right now is coming up to 11 PM. Local temperature 23 degrees centigrade. Thank you very much for flying with Lufthansa today. And we hope to see you again with us in the very near future. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Right, so that's all fine. Pop over the menu.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vienna.
Set up the ground. So in this case, it's just the jet bridge we need.
Local temperature 23 degrees centigrade. Thank you very much for flying with
I forgot I was flying with Lufthansa. It took me a few seconds to be like, oh yeah, this is who I'm with. Right, so aircraft that pushed back, he's now... Oh, there he is, so he's now taxiing out to leave very shortly. We have the jet bridge slowly making its way to our aircrafts, and passengers should soon be ready to depart. Yeah, so that was the end of flight logbook. I've only had it once in this sim, and basically if you follow a very specific set of requirements in terms of shutting down your engines and whatnot... Why is jet bridge not coming? Oh, it has. It's just decided that that's where the door is. I don't understand this sim. It's great, Microsoft Flight Sim, but it has its quirks. It has its small little issues here and there. Like I say, I call those the niggly bits. So, yeah, that then brings us now to the end of flight. So we use the menu now to end our flights. Last time I checked Legacy, I am a male. Oops. So, menu, end flights. Let's have a look. So Lufthansa 6424, 320neo from Berlin to Vienna, 1 hour and 20 flight time. The planned flight departure was 1929, departure 1926, planned arrival was 2034, arrived at 2037. So a little bit later than your landing there, but it is what it is. 147 people on board, 81% satisfaction, 124 feet per minute. Landing rates. Unexpected arrival delay, soft landing though. We were behind, didn't warn us, recommend you at work. Yeah, so again, it's an average flight, slightly behind schedule, but passengers be passengers. I hit another award here recently as well. So early supporter, and yes, the 25 hours for a monthly goal. How I'm hitting this on a regular basis now, maybe it's maybe I should be problemised. Anyways, view records. Let's stick it in the chat so you guys can also have a look at the report yourself if you're interested. Give it a few seconds, it will upload. Otherwise, yeah, that pretty much now brings us to the end of our flights today. So, like I say, tonight I'm going to try and do a few tutorials to record for tomorrow. That'll be the 787XC and Salty Spoons, the Rusty Spoon, whatever it's called, the 747 upgrade. I'm going to have a shower and refresh myself first, but yes, that brings us to the end of that. So, thank you all very much for watching today. You guys take care of yourselves. Tomorrow, we'll try and fly in the US for a bit, so do a short, medium-haul flight in the US. Otherwise, yeah, thank you very much for watching. You take care of yourselves, and I shall see you again very shortly. Take care, good night, and goodbye.